Hello everyone, Lisa here. Welcome to What's Crafting Wednesday. Today we're going to do a slightly stepped up version of last week's card, but first we have our drawing. Now when I did the drawing last week for these cards, I didn't realize I still had the tickets in the bag from the previous week, so I'm going to redraw for these cards this week. And that is this strip of tickets here. So let me just get these in the bag, shake them up. And let me see, I have Jean. Okay, congratulations, Jean. And now let me dump these out so I don't have that mistake again. And these here are the tickets from the comments from last week's cards. Oh, I still don't like these new raffle tickets I bought. Very thin. Okay, and these here are last week's cards. Okay, and I have Lisa. Well, congratulations, Lisa. I will get these off in the mail to you. Now I'm going to put one of these aside. And just so that you can see the difference between last week's and this week's, I popped the banners up with dimensionals and I matted the sentiment and popped that up with dimensionals as well. So let's get started. And again, it is the Poinsettia Petals stamp set that I'm using. And keep everything in order here. So the banner and the inside and the front. Okay, and the Real Red cardstock is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm scoring it at 5 1/2. And then we have the Whisper White layer. We have two, one for the inside and one for the front of the card, and they are 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have the banner strips. I cut these a little longer than last week's card, so after the Facebook Live is over, when I edit, I will add the measurements. I think I did them each just a 1/4 inch longer than last week, or 1/8 of an inch. I don't remember, but it will be in the comments after. Okay. But they are the 3/4 like last week. I just made them slightly longer. And just punch these out here. Okay. And again, I put them on here just to get the placement first, so that they would all be pretty much the same distance apart. And that looks pretty good. And then I use dimensionals. Okay. And I did take the mini dimensionals and I cut these in half and put on the bottoms for the points. Now, if you used cardstock, you probably wouldn't have to do that, but since this is the DSP and it's thinner, I wanted to make sure these didn't bend on the card. And you could also, rather than cut the dimensionals in half, you could also cut the little ends on the side there. And on these little cut pieces, it is a little harder to get the backing off. Okay, that one I did. This part's the most time consuming. Okay, and then I did the other end just so I could work my way in, just like when I had glued them down last week, just to make sure they're pretty much evenly spaced. Okay, and then once this is done, the rest of the card is easy to assemble, to stamp and assemble. So, has anyone made one of these scrappy cards yet? I know that Carol did. It was in the Share What You Stamp. Has anyone else made one? Again, it is a good way to use up all your scraps. I like using them on the card rather than having to throw them away. Because how can we throw our pretty DSP away, right? You have the sheets that you don't ever want to cut into because they're so pretty. And then you have the scraps that you don't want to throw away because they're so pretty. I guess those crafters can be funny sometimes. Okay, almost there. What I like about this, besides using up your scraps, is it's a fun card to make and very easy. If you just glue them down like last week, the card's done in 1, 2, 3. Just doing them this way does take a little longer. All right, we are almost there. So, does everybody use the mini dimensionals a lot? I know when we first came out with them, I was very excited over it because I was cutting the large dimensionals all the time. And here I am now cutting the minis. Okay, last one. There we go. And this one looks a little crooked. Let's see if I can lift it without causing damage. I think I can. Okay, good. And I do have 2 pieces of Whisper White cut, just in case I don't stamp straight. And again, it's going to be just like last week's card. I'm stamping the Merry Christmas. Now, last week I stamped it directly onto the card front. This week I'm stamping it onto a strip that is 3/4 by 4, and then this will be layered on a piece of real red. Okay. And I did, and this here is 1 inch by 4 1/4. to remember what I cut it at. I didn't have time to write it down, or I actually had wanted to type it, but I don't know. Time just slips away. Okay. And then with this, I had glued the stamped sentiment down. And then the real red piece was popped up with the dimensionals. And since this is cardstock, I'm not going to put the cut ones on the flagged corners because this is sturdier than the DSP, so I don't have to worry about it bending. I mean, you could if you wanted to. I don't even remember on the sample if I did. Let me see. I did not. Okay. Ooh, I smudged the ink. Maybe it was on my fingers. Yep, it's on my thumb. Don't know how I did that. But we're crafters, we'll fix it. We'll use a couple of extra rhinestones on it. And no one will know but us. It can be our little crafting secret. Okay. And then the inside I'm going to do exactly like last week. I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the center and then put the strip of DSP along the bottom. Just move it down a little so I can center it. Okay. And this piece is 3/4 by 4. Okay, and now to go inside the card. And the envelope, I'm going to do the same as last week's envelope as well. I'm going to stamp the branch first. Okay. And then fill in the berries with the real red. And let's get this centered. Fill those in. Perfect. And then we need some rhinestones on the front here. Close up my glue. What did I do here? I put one over there. And one down here. I think we'll put 2 there. Okay. And maybe we'll add another one over there. So what do you think? Don't even see the ink smudge unless you look closely. Okay, so let me show you again last week's version. So the only difference is this week these are popped up with dimensionals and these were glued flat. and then I had stamped the sentiment directly onto the card front, and this week it's stamped and then matted on a strip of cardstock and popped up. So we have the original version and we have the stepped up version. And then I'd like to show you another one that I was playing around with, because in the comments someone had asked about embossing. So I did emboss this one, and I thought maybe to do the whole card today with the embossing and everything, it might be a little too long for the video. So we will do embossing in another week's card. I don't know if it'll be next week, but we will cover the embossing another day. But I did just want to show you the card. I layered it. It is Mossy Meadow or Garden Green? It's Garden Green. And Night of Navy. And I used the Brightly Gleaming DSP. And what I did was I did emboss the sentiment on here. And I embossed the inside. And I embossed the envelope, and rather than putting the blue centers, which I thought would have made it look like blueberries, I don't know if you can tell, but I put some Wink of Stella on the inside. So I will also be doing a drawing for this card next week, and I'm going to make this card in a birthday version as well, because even though this is Christmas paper, after I got the card finished, I thought that would make a very nice masculine birthday card. So that is something that I will be doing also with this. So anyway, next week, I'll have an extra drawing. I will be doing a drawing for this card here and for the 2 cards that we made today. Excuse me. So as always, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about the stepped up version. If you're going to make this type of card, if you would be doing the stepped up one, or if you're going to stick with the original one we did last week. Just say hi, whatever you'd like to say, because I do enjoy reading your comments. And remember, leave a comment. It gets you in the drawing for next week. Okay, everyone, I wish you a crafty week. Oh, one other thing. My Christmas tag class has been moved. It is now on the 10th. There'll be 2 sessions, 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. And the cutoff to sign up for the class is this Thursday. So I will see everyone back here next Wednesday for What's Crafting Wednesday, and I will see a lot of you here next Thursday for the annual Christmas tag class. Okay, thank you, and have a wonderful crafty week. Leave those comments, and I will see you next week. Bye.